Okay,
Okay.
got
So
it.
tonight we're going to be discussing a painting by
Ooh,
Grunewald, Grunewald, um, uh, which is called the Isenheim Altarpiece. Isenheim. But before we discuss this, I want to go over the note that I sent to you. Um, so let me see if I can do this.
mm-hmm. There it is.
Uh, God.
Yeah, you've got it up, Simon.
Uh, I have the screen up, but not that note.
Yeah, I think, isn't that the note?
Uh,
It lists the classes and then
yeah, it's on your screen.
about writing. Yeah,
It's on your screen.
yeah.
Okay, so I don't see it here in front of me, but if it's on your screen, let me see if I can remember what I wrote. So this is class four.
Right.
So this class is about Grunewald. The next class is
Your trip.
my triptych, so
Hmm.
that's class five. Then we have class six. Um, okay, so Carol, could you read what I wrote for class six?
No, I can't quite yet because it's up a little high. Um, but wait a minute, I think I can. Uh,
Can't? Can't
no,
read it? So basically, the thing I want to add to class six is that I'm going to try to finish up some loose ends that are connected with the triptych form. And
right.
the one thing that I just want to add to that is that it might be nice if one or two of you, if you were ready with your writing, and if you would feel comfortable presenting in that class at the towards the end of the class, that that would be very nice because I'm concerned that we may not fit all the people in
Hmm.
to class seven. That's if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's just a thought. Now, then after that, class six, on the 16th of April,
Oh,
there's a holiday.
right.
Okay. On the 23rd, um, you're going to present your essays,
Right.
writing, and if you get um, very uptight about the writing, just be very casual and just talk about what you feel. You should limit it to 4 minutes. So not longer than 4 minutes. Very austere. Okay. Um, and I listed in that note to compare two of the triptychs or
Okay.
to compare aspects of two ideas in one triptych or compare one of the triptychs to a painting that we did not go over. Okay? So you have a lot of choices. After you write a sentence or two about something that you wonder regarding triptychs. And I'd like to get all of those questions together. And the last class, when we speak to Lynn Jacobs, I'd like to start with my own questions for her, but I want you to ask questions and interact with her. So the things you wonder about could be part of that idea. I think that'll be an amazing class, just amazing. So, I actually was looking at a video that was made of my conversation with her, and she's very smart and she has very good sense of humor. Um, do you have a question about those notes? Does anyone have a question about those? Okay, so what I'd like to do now is to speak like freeform about the Isenheim altarpiece of Grunewald. And
Simon, can you
yes, yes,
down? Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to ask if you could take down the mail, the email that you put up.
Oh, okay.
I'm
uh,
going to,
Stop sharing and start.
yeah, that's
okay, okay, this is great. So now I see all of you. If any of you have a question on those notes, you should ask me now. Okay, it's pretty straightforward.
mhm.
Okay, okay. So I'm going to try to uh, speak in an improvisatory way about the Isenheim altarpiece. So um, this painting was done between 1512 and 1516. Um, the artist goes by a few names, but the name that I know him by is Grunewald, Grunewald. Um, this painting is 14 feet high by 27 feet wide. It's a really huge painting. The painting is located in Colmar, Colmar, France. So this is an area in France which borders Switzerland and Germany, and for a period of time was German, for a period of time was French. This is a German painter and the painting is now in France, Colmar, France. So the painting was constructed for an order like uh, a religious order, Augustine order, that took care of very sick people. You might say the order might be the equivalent of a hospice today, but
Mm.
it was definitely either a hospital or a hospice that specialized in taking care of very sick people. Um, when I first read about this painting, oh, I saw this painting two times. The first time in about 1971, we were living in Germany. I I had a Fulbright grant, and it was actually the uh, the beginning. During this period was the beginning of the triptych that I did. We traveled to Colmar to see this painting, and then we returned in 2000, um, about 12 years ago, 14 years ago, 12, 14 years ago, in 2013. Um, okay. So when I first read about this painting, what I read was that the figure of Christ in this painting was one of the people in the hospital and a person who was severely ill. What I read was that the person was a leper. Now they've changed their thoughts about it, and they believe that the person was in the hospital, was ill, but he was ill with something else. And he was ill with a disease that is connected with rye bread. Rye bread, stale, fermented, fomented, fungus oriented rye bread. And that has a name, actually. It's called ergotism. 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 It's from consuming rye bread infected with a fungus. Um, this this is sometimes called Saint Anthony's uh,
Right.
fire. Fire. Um, okay, so in my reading for this class, I came across an interesting word. Um, let me see. Oh, Susan, is Susan here? Oh, she's my German expert. So this word is called Andachtsbilder. 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 So Andachtsbilder is a German word for a devotional image focusing on sorrow, focusing on sorrow. So the Isenheim altarpiece clearly fits this category. Um, so the depiction of Christ in this painting is extremely severe and sad and disturbing. And but it is one possibility of the depiction of Christ. Um, Another possibility is that Christ is triumphant. That possibility emphasizing the divinity of Christ, holiness, his victory over sin and death. Another possibility is Christ is transcendent and a triumph. This Christ by Grunewald is very expressionistic. So this it, expressionism with a capital E refers to German painting, 20th century German painting. But if you expanded this definition and you talked about expressionism with a small e, not a capital E, but a small e, you'd have the beginning of expressionism in this painting. So this is not a naturalistic painting. The figure and the depiction of people, their hands, their emotions, are very expressionistic. Um, this is almost falling out of the early Renaissance, falling into a different category. Um, just one thing about ergotism is that um, the hallucinogen LSD was eventually isolated from the same strain of fungus that produces ergotism. This is, I think, quite amazing, really amazing. Um, Now, this painting, we're gonna be looking at it very soon. This painting, as severe as it is, um, was a painting that was always open. So this painting is open all the time, and on certain days, it's um, the on it's visible all the time, and on certain days, the leaves swing open to another scene. Okay. Um, Now, there are very few paintings of Grunewald that exist. Very few drawings, very few paintings. Very few, like four, six, seven, eight total, maybe a little more. This fascinates me. I hope you'll humor me or bear with me. With this one painting, Grunewald is a great painter. In other words, there are, say, 8 or 10 paintings and drawings of his that exist. With this one painting, in my opinion, he is hands down a great painter. So if you think about that, and I actually find that very appealing, very interesting, his life is redeemed by one painting. His voyage and his life is redeemed by one painting. This is amazing. This is totally amazing. Um, I wrote down here, sounds crazy. This thought is very appealing to me. It involves, and I'm saying this not as a religious person, not religious at all, but this is going to sound religious. So he is redeemed by this one painting. So if you wanted to extrapolate from this, that it's not just as an artist, but anyone could be have the possibility of their life being redeemed by one act or one purposeful action. This is an amazing idea, if I'm right. But I think I'm right about Grunewald. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm right about the example, but I even think I'm right about that. Um, okay, so do you have a question? Okay, so let me see if I could get to the sharing the images. Now, this is a somewhat different format, so um, in some sense, it's better because the images are bigger. So this painting, um, I believe the first time I saw this, the painting was opened and closed. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was. Now the painting is shown in a museum. I think it's called Unter den Linden Museum, and this is how it looks. So behind this, there's another series of paintings, and behind that, another series, and sculpture. And you can see how big this is by comparing the individuals to the painting. Um, okay, so we're talking about a space here that's probably about 35 feet wide or 32 feet wide, and this painting is about 27 feet in width. I didn't start in the best way. Um, this is the starting point, and this is the next image, which has a lot of people in it, and you can see the scale of the painting. And again, I think this is from maybe a second story looking down. Um,
Simon, we're still looking at image 2 of 37, the people in front of the canvas.
yeah, but it's a different image. You're not looking at this?
We're looking at number 2 with the windows on the side
Oh,
and
this one. Okay. Now what? Did it change?
No,
no,
No? Did it change now?
no. Do you have like a
no.
page down button you can hit maybe?
What?
Do you have like a page down button you can hit that might advance it?
Oh, um,
You might have to stop the share and open it up again.
does this do anything?
No.
No. How about this?
No,
No,
Mm-mm.
no. Oh man. Um, what about, oh no.
Yeah, I think the whoever said before is correct. You should stop your share and restart it.
Okay.
We're looking at a different screen, I think.
Okay, let me try that. Okay. So stop share, and this is share.
We're looking at a black screen, so
wait a
you're
minute.
Yeah. Just
Yeah, that's okay.
okay. So now I'm here with you,
Right.
and okay. Do you see that?
Black screen
screen.
says Renee Dinnerstein has started screen sharing.
Um,
You may have to click on the picture again after you screen share. Click on it on your choice.
on the screen at the very bottom, it says your screen sharing is paused.
No,
What do I do?
Why don't you close the whole application? In other words, the slideshow that you have, close it down and then reopen it on your screen and then press the share and see if you can reopen it on for everybody.
Okay. Um, Rich,
Yeah.
now what do I do?
Okay. Close whatever you're seeing on your screen, close it down on your laptop. And then you'll have to find it again, obviously. reopen it so that you will be able to see it when you press the share button. And
What
once
is-
once
what
you
is
press the
closed
share
now?
button, you're looking for your what's called the the tabletop. What's it called?
Desktop.
Desktop. You're pressing your share button. You're looking at what you have opened on your desktop, and then you're opening up that file. Hopefully it opens for us.
Where it says share, there's a green
Right, arrow,
rectangle with an arrow.
right.
Then next to it, there's a white arrow with
Yeah.
How about if I press the white arrow?
I don't think so, but you could try it. But
Nothing.
Um,
oh, you got it.
Yeah, you got,
that's good?
You
Yep.
got the yep.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
great, great.
click the X on the blue bar so that we have more field.
Yes,
Oh,
now it's
okay,
showing
okay,
through.
okay. Uh,
Right,
okay. So, so this is where we were.
right.
Mhm.
You're very patient, thank you. So you could see the people and the scale of the painting.
Mhm.
Um, so this is,
Oh, from this one, you can actually see you mentioned before the other paintings behind. This is a little different than what you had up
Mhm.
before, so we can see the,
no, this is what you sort of start with. This is what you sort, no, look, believe me,
okay, well, it doesn't matter.
this is what you sort of start with.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna guess that this middle panel is about maybe 16, 17 feet wide.
Oh, yeah.
And the Christ figure, which I have details of, if that figure got up and walked around, I would say that figure would be about 7, 8 feet high.
At least,
Um, okay,
yeah.
so this is a detail I saw, which is basically a tripartite detail of this section.
It didn't advance. We're still looking at 3 of 37. I think you just moved to 4 of 37. We don't see it.
Do you see this one?
Which one?
This one now?
No, we're
No.
still on the same one.
You know what's happening, Simon?
Yeah.
These images are not connected like a slideshow. They're sort of individual images. They might all have to be picked up one by one. Uh, does this application have something called a slideshow on it, or
Maybe. Um,
Simon, you see at the top in the gray bar upper left, there's 2 little carrots that look like a forward and a backward. Give the forward one a try. Upper left. Upper left,
upper
okay.
left.
That kind of
So
works.
there's a
You
there's a
jumped from-
red.
You jumped to
Nope.
number 7.
Jump to 7.
Wait a minute, Len, right here?
No, I was talking about at the very, very top, gray bar. You have red dot, yellow dot, green dot, rectangle. You
Yes.
have a left and a right carrot,
Arrow.
all the way up at the top.
Oh, okay. You mean these arrows?
Yeah, I wanted
Mhm.
to see if that advances it. It may not.
No, it's grayed out.
Okay, it doesn't. That was a try.
No.
But you did just jump from number 4 to number 7, so you did something to advance it.
I didn't do anything, but
Yeah, you-
I don't want it to stay. Here's view.
want to go full screen. That's-
yeah. Mhm.
And this on the bottom of my keyboard, this is what I was able to advance it when I was practicing earlier today. This is the next one.
You did it. You did it this time.
That was
Oh,
good.
okay,
That
okay,
works.
okay,
Now
okay.
take us
Finding-
backwards. There you
Okay.
go.
Okay, so this is
Thank
this
you.
We did miss some though, Simon. If you could go backward
just
to.
let me keep going. This is a detail of the middle panel, and one of the problems that I have with these images is that these paintings were um, cleaned, restored about 3, 4, 5 years ago. So some of the visuals that I have are older
Uh-huh.
and some are newer. Okay. I didn't know how to decide. So if I've repeated some of them, it's because I couldn't make up my mind about it. So
Okay.
in this one, I remember the Christ image as being slightly greener than this, but this looks very good.
Mhm.
Okay, so to the right of Christ is Saint John, and written in Latin
Oh, yeah.
near him, he is pointing to Christ, and written in Latin near him, he says, um, "He must increase, I must decrease."
Huh.
Okay, this is a very interesting statement, and I interpret the statement to have two meanings. Now, I I'm taking an artistic liberty here, but I interpret it to have two meanings. The first meaning is Saint John, who was very much had a big reputation, is saying he, Christ, must increase. I have to recede, or decrease. But another possibility here, which you know is really a poetic license on my part, is I think what he's saying is to the audience, to the audience who are either the contemporary audience or the very sick audience, he's saying he must increase, I, the viewer, must decrease. Now, I'm just telling you something that is interpretive. I'm not sure it's correct. These images of this figure are astonishing, and it's just like mind-boggling and extremely severe. And
Are those all thorns in his body?
it, some of them are thorns, and some of them are the look of this type of disease,
Ah,
like
okay.
pox.
Okay.
Legions.
And you see, this is the line that goes down vertically towards the left-hand side. That's the line that used to be where the painting was opened to reveal the next set of images. Now, this image to me looks too warm. It could be that this is the restored image. To me, what I remembered was something somewhat greener than this. Same for this.
I mean, one more technical piece.
Yeah, yeah,
We're seeing the smaller image. You could expand
yes,
it.
it is. It is. Let's just leave that. Let's just leave that.
You could expand it on the right-hand side. There's a little.
I don't think so because that's the size. Um,
You could expand it to our screen for the full screen. It's
yes, but
the little square on the far right.
no, I can do that, but then the same problem might occur. Do you want me to, if you want me to try it, I'll
Shouldn't,
try it.
shouldn't occur there.
Okay, so I'm trying it, but
It's right above. Yeah, do that.
the full screen, right?
Full screen, exactly. All right. Well,
Yeah, that's good. As long as it advances, that's good. Um,
that's surprising. It's not bigger. Okay.
now the thing that the thing that would need to be said here is that this is a hospice or a hospital for dramatically ill people, and this is the image that they saw. And
Mhm.
this image provides solace to this group of people, which is simply amazing. I mean, like mind-bogglingly amazing. Um,
Or maybe it didn't provide solace. Maybe it was so gruesome.
what?
Maybe it didn't provide solace. How do we know for sure? It's sure,
Or
certainly
maybe they
it's
looked at it
gruesome.
and said they're in better shape than he was.
Uh, I, I, Jackie, every statement that a human being makes can be, there's always doubt or uncertainty or whatever. Um, I have an instinct that I'm correct. I don't, I wouldn't say 100%, but I have an instinct that I'm on the right track here.
Well, maybe in combination with the image of the risen Jesus that comes later in this sequence, that
Yes,
might
but this
bring
is,
about.
That's very
yes,
hopeful.
let me just keep going, okay?
Yes.
This is kind of the color.
Hasn't changed.
Just hold on. This is the color that I identify the painting with.
Didn't change, Simon.
And the darkness behind Christ, the painted darkness, almost seems like an eclipse. And the use of the hands all over the place are very dramatic.
We
Very,
don't see
We're
any-
not seeing hands in the image that we can see, Simon.
It didn't advance again, Simon. You've got to go back.
it's not advancing.
Yeah. Go off the full screen.
This is full screen.
Go off it, I see.
Oh, go off it. Go off it. Okay.
There
Um,
you go.
okay.
Now we're just seeing his
This
torso.
is another detail.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
There you go.
Wow. Those are the hands.
Yeah, now I think I can make this bigger, so I understand how to do this. So in full screen, it's not advancing then.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, let me try it one time. Did
No.
that advance?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. The problem is the full screen then.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay.
But it just advanced.
Okay. Okay. Um,
Oh,
this is the detail with John the Baptist.
right.
Um, let me make this bigger. I think this very strong. Now,
If you try hiding the
took-
toolbar using that button in the upper right, I wonder if that gives us more screen real estate. Does that collapse this stuff at the top?
let's not add more things to this stuff. Let's just leave this as it is. So
Figure out-
this is just hold on. You're seeing this enlarged, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Slightly.
So the expressionist part of this is the arm, the arms, the hands, the stretch of this person.
Mm.
This is expressionist because this is an exaggeration
Hmm.
for an emotional underpinning.
Yes.
And this is very, very early to do expressionism. This is a super dramatic detail of this painting.
You know, Simon, sometimes they identify El Greco as sort of a forerunner of expressionism. You
Yeah,
know,
this is earlier. This
yeah,
is
this is at least a half a century earlier.
yes, yes.
Uh,
That's a very good point. That's a
and
very
but
good point.
there's some commonalities, you know,
Yeah.
that
Let
sort
me
of distorted.
let me see if I can advance this. Did it change?
No,
No.
Okay. Okay.
out of full screen.
So I'm going to take it out of that. Now,
And then now we have a,
now this is the next grouping of paintings,
Mm.
and let me make this a little bigger. Now, uh, I
It got smaller, actually.
it got smaller.
I'm afraid so.
We're not getting the full screen.
You're not getting full screen. Okay.
No.
All right. Let's just leave it like this.
Okay.
So
what is
the
this?
thing that is interesting about this, from my end, um, if you compare the Christ figure in this to the Christ figure in the previous one, let's see if I can go back. Yeah, this is. Do you get this? This is
Yes.
Yeah.
the back, and
Hmm.
this is an advance.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, this is very interesting to me
Hmm.
too.
Oh, that's the essential.
So here I have a quote from a 20th century artist, de Kooning, um, Dekooning. So de Kooning made a statement once, which is very appropriate here. De Kooning said that he wanted to do a painting that had all the colors in the world in it.
Hmm.
Okay, so de Kooning said he wanted to do a painting that had all the colors in the world in it. And um, it seems to me that this painting has all the colors in the world in it, plus all the values in it. So the difference between this one and this one, or this one, is amazing.
Hmm.
So can I ask Simon, where is the second painting that you're showing with this huge moon or
The
sun
second painting is
one? Where
um,
is it?
the next series of paintings. When this opens up, it opens up to this.
Part of the
When
trick.
the first group opens up, when it opens, okay, when the Christ figure, remember the line I said is vertical? When
Yeah.
that opened, you see this painting, okay? Um,
Oh, I see.
okay.
Hmm.
Now, then in that same area, there's a grouping of paintings that have to do with Saint Anthony and something which is called the temptation of Saint Anthony. And the the monks that took care of these sick people was an order of Saint Anthony, Saint Anthony something monks. And here on the left, you see Saint Anthony being tempted by all of these devils and creatures. Let me make this a little bigger.
Oh, he's lying down there with his white beard.
Right.
On the left here.
Yeah.
And you see all these creatures surrounding him.
Right.
So let me go back to the other screen and see if I can advance this. So this is an image of Saint Anthony and all of these creatures, and you can see this is restored. So the restorations usually get cooler, more blues, more acidic colors, but especially in the blue direction. A little bit later, I put together some other images of Saint Anthony.
This one doesn't have Saint Anthony. It doesn't have his head.
Yeah, no, it's just the creatures.
Got his
Oh.
knees.
Okay.
Right. That is neat. Wow. And who's up there in the sky?
God.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's Christ or God or what. I don't know. Not sure.
What did Saint Anthony do to deserve this?
Uh, the only thing I could ascertain is that it has something to do with a flight across Egypt. And during this flight, he's visited by these creatures
Okay.
or other things or sexual things. And this is what goes on. So it's a theme that reoccurs quite a few times. So the either in this next series of paintings or in one that follows, you have this scene, which is almost symphonic, and the whole painting is almost symphonic. And you have the light colors, this kind of glowing color to the right.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole painting, the program of this painting is extremely expressionistic. So again, if you contrast this woman on the far right with the image that I repeated a few times of Christ, you have an amazing range in this one painting. So I put in a grouping of images of Saint Anthony.
Wow.
And this one is an engraving by a German engraver named Schongauer, Schongauer, Schongauer. Let's see if I can make this a little larger.
Mm-hmm.
This is a spectacular engraving and
When
terrific.
is this done?
Do you see it now?
Yeah, when was it done?
I late 1400s, early
Oh.
1500s. Martin Schongauer. Is this advancing?
Well, we have
We're
to.
still looking at Schongauer.
Okay. Let me go back.
Yeah.
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 I'm this is a full improvisation. So I'm going back to this.
Mhm.
Um,
And now you can read.
okay. So this is a copy of
Oh,
that engraving, a painting copy by Michelangelo. Okay, this one, which I've just become acquainted with in the last
wow.
2, 3 years, 2, 3 years entirely. But
Okay.
the same forms in
Yeah,
this painting. Um,
the Peary's up in the air above that's all.
say it again.
Oh, I was just saying, yeah, he's still being attacked by all these beasts, but he's up in the air in the sky.
Yes, yes, yes. Um, okay. This one, I believe, is by Bosch,
Hmm.
Saint Anthony, um, in a desert or wilderness.
Hmm.
And now this painting,
Whoop.
not painting, sculpture.
Yeah.
I'd like to show you this one a little bit bigger. So just bear with me about this. View full screen. So in one of the articles I came across, um, someone wrote about this sculpture, and it turns out that they don't know who the artist is for this, but they thought that this sculpture sat in the same tradition as the Grunewald painting. And uh,
What do you mean?
I think it's fascinating, actually. It's
Well,
located, just hold on. It's located in a museum in Bonn, Germany, called the Rheinisches Landesmuseum. It's polychrome wood dated from 1300 to 1325.
wow.
And the look on Mary's face, Christ, the arms, the hands, is very expressionistic, very moody. And I think I agree with this. It really does connect with Grunewald's image. So I'm going to have to go back because this isn't working the way it should be. Um, okay.
Look,
This is another image of Saint Anthony. Um, I unfortunately the note that I had with who did it is missing, so I can't do that. I'll try to get that for you for next week. Who did this one? It's a fascinating image.
oh,
Um, let's try the next one. This is by an engraver named Caillot, Jacques Caillot, French engraver, Callot. And here is Saint
uh,
Anthony, Saint Anthony here, and this is a devilish creature and all kinds of other creatures surrounding him. So see if I can make this bigger.
yeah.
So here is Saint Anthony, and this is this devilish creature. This is an engraving, a pretty spectacular engraving. Okay, So now, the other artist that the Grunewald painting made me think of is Holbein.
Mhm.
This is a painting by Holbein
Mhm.
of Christ entombed.
Mhm.
And I think this painting is located in Basel, Basel. The painting has a very curious shape. It's, I think, 12 inches high by 80 or 90 inches wide. It's unlike other paintings by Holbein, but it fits in with the image of Grunewald. So the next one I have is this very painting in its location in the museum in Basel. So you can see the way this is set up, so it looks like a tomb.
Yeah.
And let me make this a little bigger. I've seen this painting in person, I think on the trip that I made to go to see the Grunewald painting. So the distance between Colmar and Basel, Colmar and Switzerland is quite close. I remember seeing this and being very struck by it. Very, very extreme.
So his head, his hands, and his feet all look almost gangrenous.
Yes, yes,
Well,
yes.
I guess that
Uh,
would be after, yeah, right.
When
Such a
I went,
such a different Holbein, so
Yeah.
different from his other output.
very, very, very tragic, and very different. When I went to see this, Renee's father was very ill,
Hmm.
and she really, really had a very strong response to this, um,
Right.
very upending. But it's displayed like this. So it's almost like you're looking through the image
Last time.
into a tomb, and it's only 12 inches high. Um, okay, this is a little dark, but this is a detail of the head in that painting.
Simon, I've been cheating a bit and using Wikipedia to look at the images. And this one of Holbein is really quite remarkable in terms of the eyes being turned heavenward. It's uncertain whether he's dead or alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really striking. Um, let me keep going. I want to give you enough time to pitch in. So in the end, I found four drawings of Grunewald. Um, there are hardly any works of his in existence. There is a few other paintings, other crucifixion scenes, and some drawings, and that's it. Um, in the drawings, the hands are very striking. So this is one. Let me make this a little bigger.
No. Couldn't.
See, the hands are very big, big thing for him, and is very expressionistic.
Well, That's good.
Yeah.
AI says there are 10 paintings and 35 drawings known.
Yeah, very, very small,
Mhm.
either a very small production or very few paintings remain of his.
Right. Right.
This is the last one coming up, which is this
Hmm.
one.
Yeah.
And let me make this a little bigger. The drawings are very rounded and palpable and edge into expressionism.
Foreshortened.
So I'd like to go back to the screen where all of you are and okay. Okay. So I'm sorry about the technical part. I didn't anticipate that, but we we did a pretty good job improvising. I hope. Um, are there any questions or thoughts about this that you'd like to share? Jackie?
Question, big question. There's all these pieces of the Isenheim altarpiece. Can you just briefly say what the story is depicted on each piece? Because I'm trying to put together, what is this thing? What's it trying to communicate?
Um, I think it starts with Christ and with a kind of realism that hurts, um, a kind of realism that's taken to there's a special word for this. It's just skipping my mind now, but a realism that hurts. And then the rest of it strikes me as a kind of redemptive force, redemptive, ascending, ascension. Um, it has the polarities of expressionism um, and an almost musical counterpart to it. And in fact, I think there was a piece of music written about this. Um, I can't remember who wrote this, but it's called Matthias de Mahler.
Hindemith.
I think it's an opera. Am I correct? Ron,
Hindemith.
Ron, Ron?
I know it as a tone poem, but it could be an opera. The Nazis didn't like him very much,
Yeah, well, they considered it degenerate.
although they really did love Grunewald.
Um, Another question or thought? Um, uh, Rich?
Yeah, I was just thinking, you showed Holbein, uh, probably a little earlier than his stuff with Henry VIII, right? And the tour de court, but it would have been the early 1500s. And so maybe he crossed over with Grunewald, slightly Holbein, might have might have been aware of that painting.
Yes, yes. I think you're right.
And Dürer probably not too far from that mix either. No.
Okay, so I know this. Um, Dürer went to visit Matthias Grunewald, and he arrived too late. Uh, I think in 1527 or 1528, and Grunewald had passed away.
Mhm.
And I think that Dürer passes away in 1528.
Mhm.
Um, in Kulvitz's art, there is an engraving, and
Oh.
the engraving um, uses Holbein's figure, that long, narrow figure.
That's Caddy Colwatts.
Colvitts, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. This is particularly, in my opinion, particularly German.
Exactly.
Um,
You see,
let me,
Egon Schiele is has those distorted hands, of course,
Yeah.
yes,
the
yes, that's
legacy
right.
of that.
That's right. Let me go into some people who didn't I missed last time. Anna.
He's muted now.
Yeah,
I
I
can't hear
just
you.
unmuted myself. I need to see them a little bit bigger, and I feel like there's a lot I missed. And so yeah, I guess I learned more just seeing the drawings because I could see the expressive quality of the drawings very easily, whereas it's a little bit harder for me to see. So I want to get back and look at the altarpiece
Well,
again.
if I have time at the end, maybe I could go back to show you a few.
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't know why it didn't advance on full screen. It should have. I don't know why. Um, um, oh, Carla.
No, I don't have any questions. I'm just kind of trying to take everything in and see what comes.
Oh, Carla,
Yeah.
you might find this interesting. You
Yeah.
just reminded me of something. I don't know why, because you didn't say anything that particularly reminded me of something. But when I saw this painting the first time, now, it, admittedly, it's different on the screen and with the issues on the screen that were a problem. But when I saw it in person the first time, I thought it was the single best painting I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it seemed to me,
Sorry, nobody
because
talking.
the Grunewald painting, because it seemed to me to go well past where paintings usually go, well past to another area or realm.
Mhm.
Then I didn't see it for many, many years, maybe 40 years. And Renee and I traveled to Paris, and Renee arranged to do a trip from Paris to Colmar and to Beaune. Actually, it's not that far. Uh, it sounds like it's far, but it's not. Like 3 hours from Paris, you could get to Colmar. And I was kind of thinking to myself, I wonder what I would think seeing it the second time. And um, I thought the very same thing the second time, that it's really one of the most amazing paintings I've ever seen, because it seemed to me that it went to a different realm beyond where paintings go into something else. It wasn't about how well it was painted. It was about something else.
Mm.
You mean
It
emotionally
was
or
about
psychologically, or what do you mean, Simon?
yeah. Emotionally, psychologically, and it hit me very hard. Uh, it it um, it wasn't about how good the art was. It was about something completely different.
Like
And
faith?
like what?
I can't put it into words, but I really felt the same. It was like a transcendent work of art.
An art, a piece of religious faith more than a work of art.
Yes, but I say this with, you should understand that I'm not really religious, but
Yeah.
I
I
feel
understand.
I felt that
Really?
about this work.
Can you explain why? I mean, there are a lot of altarpieces, and if you're not talking about the painting itself, why is this one so different?
Well, I guess one part of it is that from the artist's angle, from the view of the artist, um, this is an all or nothing painting. It's taken so far, you can't go further than this. So it's extremely daring. It's where daring and um, audaciousness meet a kind of vision, a vision. Um, the setting, the setting of it is amazing. Now it's not a hospital or a hospice, but it was painted for that reason. Um,
Simon, can
I never thought of having to explain this. I'm just I'm reaching for words to describe, which I haven't done.
Mhm.
One more thing, and then I'll let you participate. Um, I let's just let people say what they have to say. Ron, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I'm jumping out of my seat because I also had that experience with the painting. We visited it on a group trip with my late
You
wife's.
saw this painting.
Yes, we made a trip to Alsace and to Colmar, where they speak a language that's really halfway between French and German. It's quite interesting. Saw the painting in the museum where it had been situated. This was in the 80s. And I have to say, the thing that is so incredible about it is the animation. You see a lot of religious painting, there's a passivity to it, there's a kind of elegant passivity. This thing really grabs you by the throat. These people are almost alive in their animation, and there's something really spectacular about it.
That's such a beautiful description.
Yeah.
Really beautiful, beautiful. Really, really terrific. Um, there's something more about it, but it, um, it goes past the realm where art usually exists into something else. Um, does that make sense, Ron?
I think there's an essence to that. I must say, when we saw it, it was accompanied by some remarkably beautiful um, prints of the Martin Schongauer, just extremely beautiful impressions of those. And he also had a real talent for the dramatic and just exquisite things.
Okay. Did anyone else see this painting at all? No? Um,
I saw it in the 80s as well.
Denise, did you feel, um, did you remember your feelings seeing it?
I well, first of all, it was in that, I guess, in that museum, because where I saw it, it just seemed like um, close quarters is kind of what I remember. I need to look because I probably took photos. I don't know if I mean, being raised Catholic, I've seen a lot of religious paintings. And so I think, although I'm sure it was beautiful, I was much more taken with the format of it because I had never seen anything that during different seasons of the church, um, they would open and close it, and that fascinated me. And then it seemed like it had a couple of wings that would, it seemed like it could open up.
Yeah.
So I would love to see an animation of how that works now.
Yeah.
So that's my recollection.
Okay. Okay. Any other contributions? Oh, Len.
Yeah, I just want to add that in the chat box here, if you click on chat, John posted a link to a YouTube video that shows the complexity of the piece in that scene one of the crucifixion opens up into scene two of the resurrection and some other things, and that opens up into scene three of Saint Anthony with some fantastical beasts in the wilderness. So, there's a depth and complexity to this thing. And I think so thank you, John. I mean, it's only a
Yeah,
minute.
sure.
It shows you how it works. Even the bottom panel opens downward to reveal another bottom panel
Yeah.
Yes.
behind it, which is really cool. But
Yes.
just to Jacqueline's original, I think it was Jacqueline's original question of what is the narrative here? I mean, I think the complexity of the piece for me, it defies narrative. I mean, I look at panel one, opening to panel two, opening to panel three. Obviously, there's a linearity from the crucifixion to the resurrection, but there's so much else going here that's like in all kinds of different directions. And it makes me think that like the artist, maybe while he was trying to, kind of in some ways stick to the script with, Christ and such and such, he's taking some liberties, I think, that are just like to put so many different images out there to give the Isenheim folks the flexibility and opportunity to just show all these different scenes, and this week we're going to show this because the people have seen this one for enough time. We're going to show them this one. And I think just there maybe there's almost like there's a religious, but there's also just like show the viewers some great art and
Yeah.
change it up. He just gave them so much to work with.
Now, John, is it possible that you could send me these three posts that you put down? And when I send out the recording, I'll send these three.
Yeah, I'll send those as an email so
Send
you
them
can
to me as
include
an
them in your
email.
email. Yeah, no
so
problem.
I want to just comment on oh, Susan, you're here now.
I'm so sorry that I'm late.
No, no, don't,
the
no.
doctors.
I thought of you before because it was a German word that that I used, and I wanted to know if you knew this word, Andachtsbilder.
Oh, pictures for meditation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so, but to get to what Len is saying and to maybe qualify what he's saying, from my point of view, and art is very selective, but from my point of view, this painting rests on the image of Christ. All the rest are interesting, all the rest are involving, but that image is so unusual and so compelling that that's the ball game to me. The others kind of act as a counterpoint to the start. But I could be mistaken, I don't know. But it is a very visionary piece of art, clearly. Lucia,
Simon?
wait a minute, hold on. Lucia, did you know this piece before?
No, I didn't. It's really amazing. I can't imagine what you feel when you're actually in front of the real thing because just in pictures it looks spectacular, as you said, very unique.
very expressive. The depth of the pain is it's hard to find something similar, I think. And there's so many paintings of Christ on the cross. And this has standard elements like the loincloth and
Yeah,
position on the cross and but at the same time it just strikes me as something completely different.
yeah. That's very well said. It maybe the question, I think, Jackie, you asked me this question, uh, why it hit me this strongly, and why it seemed I started off by saying that it seemed to me a painting that enters a realm that paintings usually don't enter. Um, maybe,
Can I add
maybe
something?
something of Lucia's response
Can,
connects.
can I
connects.
just add can I add something? It's
Yeah, yeah,
the, the vast majority of these religious paintings are a depiction of something, while this one, it's almost like the artist is feeling the pain.
yes, yes, yeah,
And it's just ineffably represented in his images.
yeah. Feeling it, and taking you to that place.
Hmm.
Um,
It's as
uh,
if he's paring down the religion to the suffering so that he can communicate with the hospital, the people in the hospice. He's paring down the religion.
I agree with you. I I totally agree with you. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And in paring it down, um, it's very modern.
Mhm.
It's very contemporary. Um, it doesn't sit as a story. It sits somewhere else.
Isn't it appealing to have someone else suffer for you?
Hmm.
Well, if I said that, you know what I'd get from my friend here. Uh,
Well, Jesus died for our sins, so that's
uh, that's a very interesting statement, Rita. Um,
But,
Frank, would you like to add something?
Well, it's fascinating to hear the impressions that people have expressed given, having been in the presence of the painting. It really is, it sounds like a really moving experience that I hope to experience one day. I thought it was fascinating that Rich mentioned Egon Schiele because his
Yes,
name crossed my mind as I was looking at the arms and the hands on the crucifixion on the Christ figure.
yeah, absolutely.
Um,
Terrific point.
yeah,
Terrific.
I thought that was really adept
Yeah, yeah, I
comment.
agree. I agree.
And the you mentioned that the disease of ergotism had a name after Saint Anthony, and
Yes.
it seemed like all of the artwork we saw tonight kind of backed that up with the fantastical and creatures and the anguish, and if there was hallucinating and pain going on with ergotism, it seemed to match nicely in the artwork.
Um, I wonder, Kathy, do you have something to add?
Yeah, I was just thinking what Ron mentioned earlier, that a lot of the religious paintings, their poses are more passive and more maybe beautiful. This is not beautiful. This shows the agony and the pain and the gut wrenching, I guess, feeling that's coming through the painting.
Um, when you work as an artist, you're under a lot of pressure to make something better and better, uh, or more realized, more skilled. And I think the same thing would be true with writing, let's say. But maybe what what Grunewald has done here is he somehow skipped that skill part and has gone right to another world where it's not skill, it's something else.
It's like something had taken over him and poured out.
That's right. Very well said. Let's call it X. Let's call it X. And um, X is where the art should go to. Okay. X is the end of the voyage. The voyage is through skill, but it's going to X, going to X. So this is a painting all about X. Okay, it's X, and but it's X about humanity, and
Yes, I think
it's
I
X
think
about life.
I think what was different, maybe from all the other pictures of the crucifixion I've seen in my life, is that Jesus is on a cross, and he's supposed to be God made man who's dying for our sins. But in a lot of the paintings I've seen, I'm not sure it brings out um, the human part that actually suffers, because you could say to yourself, well, he's God, so he's going to die a human death, but he's going to he's God, he's going to rise again. This maybe demonstrates that humanity so that we feel it and we can't say, well, he's God and he's just doing this performative thing. It's much more than performative in that painting.
Did I miss someone? Oh yeah,
Well,
Francis.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. I was thinking that a lot of religious paintings are to sell the idea of the religion. I'm reading some history now and about all the evils of the church and the grasping and the, what's coming in the Reformation. But this one seems to be to alleviate the suffering of people, that it's getting at something very different from just trying to get people to believe and be scared of all the monsters and, and hell, so that you keep in line. So the aim of it is so very different. And I think you're saying, I haven't seen it in person, but saying that it clearly comes across as that, it sounds like.
Okay, so next week, I don't know how I could possibly follow this, but next week I will give you a little introduction to my very own triptych, and I'd be curious to see your thoughts and questions, uh, and of course you have the advantage of asking questions of the actually living artist. So that's a slight advantage, and I hope you'll take advantage of that. Um, I have lots of questions for Lynn Jacobs, and uh, I hope that she can answer the questions. It should be very interesting. Um, so I will see you next week. Okay?
Yes,
Yeah. Take care.
Thank you.
Sorry about the glitches, but I think it went well.
yes.
Take care.
Bye,
Thank you.
Simon.
Thanks, Simon.
Yeah. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Simon, did you talk about the colors
A
in
little,
the?
yes, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, I can't wait. I will see the recording and catch
Yeah,
up. But
hold on a second. The one thing that I said about the color was a strange statement that de Kooning mentioned about art. And de Kooning had a thought that he thought that he could do a painting. It would be amazing if he could do a painting that had all the colors in the world in this painting. Okay. And I think this painting has all the colors in the world.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
have you
I've
seen
seen
it?
it.
Have you
I've
seen it?
seen it twice. I've
You
seen it
sure?
twice.
Did you have the same response that I did? Did you feel that strongly about it, or not?
Yes. Oh, I was shocked by the color. You know, when Christ risen, it's magenta and chartreuse. Nobody in medieval times are painting with, I mean, how did he even come up? How did he
Yes,
even
yes.
think of magenta and chartreuse?
Well said. Very well said. And
Yeah.
I juxtaposed the blonde, glowing Christ with the dark green, muddy death figure of Christ.
Yes. Yes.
So that's the range is remarkable.
It is. It is. It leaves you speechless.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Um, I I don't know when you came in, but I remember saying that when I first saw the painting, I thought it was the single best painting I'd ever seen. And I couldn't quite answer the question because I never really thought about it, but I thought the second time I saw it, I thought the same thing. And
Yes.
the thought that I had was that it went to a place that painting doesn't usually go to. It went beyond painting to somewhere else.
Yes. No, I feel what you're saying, Simon, because I was liking what people were saying. And I kept thinking, there's something about painting what you have visualized, but it isn't simply your imagination. And I like how people were talking about feeling and pain, but there is also this incredible imagination.
Yes,
Um, and then just discovering all those colors and the way that he decided to use them.
yes,
Right. He's up at X.
yes. He's at X. He's
Yeah.
he's, he's
Yeah.
at X, but not Musk's X.
No, no, not at all.
This is a better X, a better X.
Yeah.
It seems also particularly German.
Yes.
It's carried to a severe extreme.
Yes.
It,
Yes.
almost like the word that I used in terms of Bosch and um, Van Eyck, Weltanschauung.
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah,
I think there is an entire Weltanschauung behind all of the work that's in all the multiplicity of his work there.
yes, yes.
It
And,
is united.
yeah, and were you here when I mentioned that there are very few of his works that are in existence?
Yes.
With this one painting, he is hands down a great painter.
Yes.
And that strikes me as uh, amazing, amazing, not just for an artist, but for any person that with one act,
Mm.
one devotion, one surprise, one extra human endeavor, your life is redeemed.
Yeah.
It, it's
Yeah,
it's a beautiful thought.
it is.
Um, uh, I'm glad that you had such a response to it.
Yes, and I just couldn't believe I'm watching the clock and I'm just not getting home because I'm 2 hours earlier than you are.
I see, I see.
So I was just late. But I will absorb the recording.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I'll do my little report on it.
Oh, thanks.
I'll try to get some words.
Okay, that's great. Lovely to see you.
Nice to see. Thank you for
filling me in,
Yeah,
Simon.
yeah. Take care of yourself, okay?
Night.
Yeah, yeah. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.